10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go C. Cart. My cue.
Having to take the long way, a closed stretch of highway in Beauregard Parish is causing frustration tonight, and we may never know why he guns down 20 first graders. But tonight, we know a lot more about the mass murderer. Plus, a lot of worried people after this bright green water showed up outside Lake Charles this morning. 7 News Nightcast starts now.
Now, in high
definition,
sponsored by Sisson of Lake Charles. This is 7 News Nightcast.
My cue.
Hello there, I'm Charlie Haldeman in for Cynthia tonight. A strip of Highway 190
A still in. Stand by sound from C. Stand by Olivia at the Flash.
An old bridge is being repaired. KPLC's Olivia Vidal has more on why this is becoming frustrating, though, for some residents and travelers.
Charlie, the road is closed on Highway 190 West right outside of downtown DeRidder. This is causing frustration for residents and travelers because of the Department of Transportation's posted detour is about 35 miles long, and that's just to get around this small strip of the highway. We all know the
this is a minute 33 parish roadways. We'll come back to 3 in the Flash, then we'll go keyed on Charlie.
Take an alternative route. Frustrating for you, the driver, and for the construction workers and Department of Transportation and Development. Repairs to this bridge on U.S. Highway 190 are almost complete.
We've been working 16 hours a day, 7 days a week on that bridge. We've devoted a heavy workforce to it to build this bridge within 2 weeks.
Steve Giles is the district administrator for the DOTD. Construction on the old bridge began 2 weeks ago. All that's left are the bridge approaches and guardrails. But what comes with construction is the detour, something many travelers on this highway aren't happy about.
The actual detour is through Singer and Maryville along 27, the west portion of 190. It's a fairly lengthy detour, about 35 miles.
A 35-mile detour, which has turned many drivers, especially truckers, to taking local roads around the construction. But heavy trucks carrying chemicals or logs may be causing damage to the local streets.
We don't condone trucks taking these local routes, and we can't, police it either.
15.
That expectation falls upon the local jurisdictions. All we can do is try to make sure our detour route is properly signed for these truckers.
And they are in bright orange, getting truckers and other drivers back on the right path to their destination without damaging parish roadways.
And my cue.
We spoke with Beauregard Parish Administrator Bobby Hennigan, and he says if there's any damage to the parish roads, they will fix them to make them safe for travel. But as of right now, drivers are advised to follow the DOTD posted detour signs at least until April 5th when the bridge project is expected to be complete. Charlie?
All right, thank you, Olivia Vidal. Former KPLC reporter Alan Toomey was remembered tonight. A memorial service was held at Hickson Funeral Home. Alan was a feature reporter at KPLC in the 80s and early 90s. He would later take that talent to our sister station in Baton Rouge. Now tonight it was the turn of his family and friends to tell their stories of Alan and how he enriched all of our lives. Alan Toomey was 70 years old. Governor Bobby Jindal has redone the math on his tax reform proposal. The plan's backbone is eliminating income tax and raising state sales tax. Now the reworked plan would raise sales tax even more. Right now, state sales tax is
We're
at 4%.
Come back to the same key.
The original plan would have raised it to 5.88%. Now the revised plan, that new version, hikes it up to even more, 6.25%. The increase comes after criticism. The original plan would have come up short in offsetting eliminated income tax revenue with the higher sales tax. Tonight we have a better understanding of Adam Lanza, the man whose shooting rampage killed 20 first graders and redefined the gun control debate. It comes from the search warrants.
D is clear. Stand by sound from 3.
Susan Candiotti has more.
And 3.
Impressive on the outside.
This is 3 minutes and 11 seconds. We'll come back.
Adam Lanza shared with his mother Nancy, more like an arsenal. Court documents reveal investigators found at least 1,600 unspent rounds of ammunition, 2 rifles, 3 samurai swords, a bayonet, and a 7-foot pole with a blade on one end and a spear on the other.
It's always a mix. In every case, and I don't think this is going to be any different, a mix of depression and paranoia.
3 minutes
They're
and
so
11
sad and
seconds.
depressed they're willing to die,
Standard out
and they're
cue,
so paranoid
we're
and see
about
the
3
world is
minutes
so
out.
threatening they want to kill other
Less
people.
than 3
And the
minutes out.
paranoia really creates this need to surround yourself with weapons.
Lying in her bed, Adam Lanza's first victim, his mother Nancy. A bullet hole in her forehead, a rifle on the floor. Elsewhere in the house, her week-long to-do list, starting with the day she was killed. Adam Lanza's massacre began at home, but the worst was yet to come.
This was someone who was living in a world of violence and somehow either planned on crossing over
2
or
minutes.
at some point was motivated to cross over and be the killer.
154 bullet casings found at Sandy Hook Elementary, shot from 30-round magazines. 3 found empty, another 3 with a handful of rounds left, and 3 more 30-round magazines discovered on his body, fully loaded. Inside Lanza's Honda parked outside the school, a shotgun with 2 70-round magazines. Right after the shooting, an unnamed witness told investigators Lanza rarely left his home, calling him a shut-in. The witness described Adam as an avid gamer who liked a gory shoot-'em-up, Call of Duty. Inside Lanza's home, more creepy clues of what sources have described as Lanza's obsession with serial killers and mass shootings. Several journals, 3 photos of what appear to be dead bodies in plastic covered in blood, and newspaper
1
clippings,
minute.
including an article about a 2008 Northern Illinois University shooting spree that killed 5 and injured 21. Authorities also found books, including Look Me in the Eye, My Life with Asperger's, Born on a Blue Day, Inside the Mind of an Autistic Savant, and Train Your Brain to Get Happy. Experts say Asperger's and autism are not associated with violence.
This was a very bizarre home situation between this mother and the son. It was not healthy, and this was certainly a young man, if he was getting treatment for whatever
15.
his psychological issues may have been, that it just was not working.
Also found 2 NRA certificates, 1 each for Nancy and Adam. Unclear what they were for, the NRA says neither was a
10
member.
seconds.
And a sign more firearms were on the way.
Stemma
A
Charlie.
holiday card with a check signed by Nancy Lanza, naming a gun model she had in mind.
And Mike, you.
Susan Candiotti reporting on that. Lake Charles police
Was
are
that-
investigating a rape and attempted rape, and they have a suspect in custody.
Stem
linked
had to
to
take
both
your key
incidents.
out and pan.
The first complaint happened in the 1500 block of 4th Avenue back on March
D is
15th.
in.
The female victim was held at knife point. Police say she fought back and got away, calling police. The second incident happened a week ago on March 21st in the same location. A victim walking home was assaulted by the suspect. Police are not releasing the man's identity, but say he has been booked for attempted
Take
and
it out.
aggravated rape and indecent
pan.
behavior with a juvenile.
Semi full
Bogus charity
screen.
lunches lands a Moss Bluff man in jail, according to the Calcasieu Sheriff's
screen.
Office. It says 44-year-old Michael
Gonna
Derrick
come out to
went
video
through
out of
business
1,
claiming
then we'll
he
go to
was selling
3 to
lunches
2.
to be delivered the next day with the money going to a cancer patient. But it turns out there was no benefit lunch or even a real cancer patient. Deputies say Derrick sold at least 75 lunches, taking in more than $800.
Take it out.
Tonight he's charged with that. A lot of concern when a marsh
D is
under the
clear. We'll
I-10
come back to
Calcasieu
3 and
River
a 2.
Bridge turned bright green this morning. Turns out, though, it was a harmless green dye. Officials say ConocoPhillips had
We'll go to
permission
1
to
in the
use the
monitor.
dye to test drainage in the area, but the public wasn't notified for some reason. It caused concern when people saw that green water.
Stand by
Officials
3.
say that dye is harmless and will dissipate in about 6 days.
And 3 is
Looking
up.
ahead at weather, don't you
Stand by
wish
1
it
in the
was St.
monitor.
Patrick's Day with the green water? But spring is arrived.
That's right, spring
now.
has finally arrived. So it finally feels like at least spring-like
And one's
weather out
up.
there. But the question is, how long will that really last around this area? Believe it or not, we may have to revert back to that wintertime pattern down the line. But right now, we had some spring-like
Three's
weather.
up.
Check out the high temperatures today. Temperatures made it all
We'll
the
come
way
back
up
to
the
3
lower
and a 2,
70s
then we'll go
across the
2
area.
centered.
First day we've been able to say that in quite a while, so it
Have
felt
lots of
very
whites.
nice out there.
2
Also,
and 3
we
for
had
the
some
bump,
clouds
and I'll
earlier
need
today,
1
but
to
the
be in
sun
the zoom
came out
out
this
for the wide.
afternoon, and right now we still have clear skies, but you see some low clouds to our north. I do think some of those low clouds will build in as we go throughout the overnight hours. and especially by tomorrow morning. But check these numbers out from our airports right now. 59 degrees to Ritter, 57 in Lake Charles and in Lafayette. So we are seeing temperatures cool down pretty steady. Now, as we go throughout your forecast for your Good Friday, we're talking about temperatures starting off into the 50s, but warming up during the afternoon into the mid-70s. It'll be warm and breezy with a mix of sun and clouds, with a southerly wind picking up south 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now, in just a few minutes, we're going to talk much more about your Easter forecast, and also another cooling trend headed this way, it looks like. Sad to say it, but enjoy the warmth while we have it.
We'll try to leave the jacket in the back seat.
That's right, at least for now.
Tease up.
Thank you,
Sneak in your
the
cart.
latest on the health of Nelson Mandela coming up. Plus, after all its tough talk, North Korea gets a very public warning from the United States. And the homes still standing after a giant landslide in Washington. But for how much longer? Those stories, the 7 News Nightcast.
In 3, 2, 1, fade taken. I think it was like dinner with the Smuts or something. They talked about going to Africa and meeting Morgan Freeman, is what he said. It's like, we went to Africa. Guess who we met? Morgan Freeman. It's not a very funny movie, but that always got me. Yeah. 15. 10. Stand by sound from C. And his mic. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go C. IQ.
Former South African President Nelson Mandela is back in the hospital with a recurring lung infection. In a statement, South Africa's president said the 94-year-old apartheid hero is responding well to treatment. It's the third time in 4 months Mandela has been hospitalized. This is why North Korea is so on edge, making all kinds of threats against the United States and South Korea. U.S. stealth bombers in plain view, not far from the North Korean border, doing military exercises with the South Korean military. A United States military official confirmed 2 B-2 bombers flew from an air base in Missouri to South Korea as part of the drill. A busy program of Easter events got underway at the Vatican today. Pope Francis led his first Holy Thursday service as leader of the Roman Catholic Church. His homily today was the latest indication he wanted the 1.2 billion member church to be closer to the poor. He urged Catholic priests to go out among the poor and suffering in peripheral neighborhoods and the countryside instead of worrying about careers as church, quote, managers. Court documents filed in Denver show prosecutors are not interested right now in cutting a plea deal with the suspect in the Colorado theater shooting. The state also criticized James Holmes' lawyers for saying publicly that he would enter a guilty plea in exchange for avoiding the death penalty. Barbara Walters plans to retire next year, ending a television career that made her a trailblazer in news and daytime TV. Walters is 83. She created the daytime show known as The View and appears on it semi-regularly as one of the hosts. She was the first woman to anchor a network evening newscast. She'll retire in May of 2014. Residents in a Washington state town will have only limited access to their homes a day after a massive landslide left dozens in a precarious situation. The Wednesday morning slide took out a 2-lane road and several hundred feet of a cliffside. A new road will have to be built to restore access to some homes, but now this is expected to take weeks or even months to complete. We're enjoying the warm-up and rain chances increasing as the days
Sneak in your cart, stand by your break.
Wade Hampton tonight.
That's right, Charlie. We're definitely enjoying that warm-up, and this evening it's feeling pretty nice out there as well. Check out these numbers from our weather watchers. Jim from Topsy, 55. Kenton, Vinton, 56 degrees. And we've got 49 from Fay and Oakdale. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to talk much more about this warm-up, let you know how long it's going to last, and talk more about those rain chances right after this.
Kill his mic and fade. 2.5. 15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see.
Now your pinpoint forecast with meteorologist Cedric Haynes.
Mike Q.
Well, good evening to you. We are dealing with temperatures cooling down now. We actually have clear skies out there, which is definitely quite a change from what we've been dealing with the past couple of hours. But temperatures at 57 degrees because the skies have cleared on out. We also have that south-southeasterly breeze at about 5, humidity 87%, and the pressure is pretty high at 30.28. That means good weather is in store for us, and it really actually is. And you can see some changes taking place. The cool air moving out of the way. 50s across the state tonight. But look to the west across the border in Texas. We've got mid to upper 60s. This is the air mass that will be moving our way over the next 24 to 48 hours. So get ready for a warming trend to continue as we go throughout the next couple of days. Let's go and look closer across southwest Louisiana and show you what we've got. 55 in Oakdale, 59 degrees in Fort Polk this evening, 59 degrees in DeRidder, 56 to Quincy, and 57 again in Lake Charles. Now, it's getting a little bit like spring fever out there. You probably felt it a little bit today because today was really the first day that we actually saw temperatures warm all the way up into the 70s. It felt very nice. But guess what? I think we're going to have a couple more days to deal with some of that nice, warm, spring-like weather. In fact, I'm going to tell you that I think right now the holiday weekend looks to be on the warm and spring-like side, but then we'll see more changes next week. Let's track it for you hour by hour on our temperature trends. Tomorrow morning, we'll be in the 50s, but we'll quickly rebound with plenty of sunshine. I went ahead on and bumped the temperatures up a degree or two from my forecast from earlier this evening up into the mid-70s as the computer models continue to want to bring us into the mid-70s there. So looks like that southerly wind is going to play a big part in that forecast. And then by tomorrow night, we're only going down to temperatures near 60 degrees. Remember, out to the west in Texas, that's that air mass that's actually moving our way. And so we're going to be seeing temperatures starting off into the 60s, and by afternoon, yes, we're warming up to near 80 degrees on your Saturday. So yes, very spring-like out there. And I think this trend will continue right into your Easter Sunday, also around Monday of next week, but then a front will move through, and then I think we'll see some big changes moving back across the area. Skies cleared out this afternoon, and they remain clear from southwest Louisiana all the way up through Mississippi and Alabama. But notice some low clouds off to the north and west. Those will probably redevelop and move into our areas to go throughout the next couple of days. Here's where all the cold air is right now, moving out of the northeast. But you can see that system really breaking apart now and moving away, and that means a warming trend is headed this way. What are we going to focus on? This big blue H, high pressure. That means good weather. And when you have high pressure moving to your east, you get the clockwise flow bringing in a southerly wind. So that's a warm wind. And we're going to see temperatures warming up throughout the next couple of days. At the same time, we'll have a weak front to our north. What that's going to do is to help produce more clouds across the area. So we'll see a mix of sun and clouds. But guess what? It's going to be warm and mainly dry. Now, as we head towards your Saturday and Sunday, we'll have a chance of seeing some scattered showers and storms developing. But we're not talking about an all-day washout. So you won't have to worry about canceling any of your outdoor activity. I think Easter egg hunts will be fine. We just have to dodge a shower or two from time to time.
It's so
overall,
unhealthy
not
for
too
you,
bad.
but it's like the best
50
thing
degrees
ever.
tonight, scattered clouds
15,
around. A sun and cloud mix
around.
out there on your Friday. It will be breezy with those winds picking up by the south. Here's your Easter Sunday hour by hour breakdown for you. We start off in the 50s for Sunday morning and quickly warm up into the mid to upper 70s by the afternoon with just about a 40% chance of those scattered showers and storms. And then an unsettled and cooling trend heading into next week.
You can get one.
All right, thank you, Cedric. We all know we should eat better, but eating healthy can prove difficult in our busy lives.
I guess you're not going to do
now
one, are
there's
you?
local help that makes eating right simpler. The story of 7 News
I'm not taking
Nightcast
that.
continues.
And Faye Jacob Charday. Explanation. Yeah, I'm like, you weren't listening, and because he just wasn't listening. I fucking hate how this video starts out faded.
Yeah.
10. Fix that shit myself. Say my sound from 1, 3, 2, 1. Fade up, sound up 1.
Easter weekend is approaching, and there are a lot of events taking place in the area. Tomorrow we'll tell you about the Kicks 96 Easter
Stand my
egg hunt,
sound
along
from
with
C.
other holiday
David.
events. Plus, a church in Alabama uses a provocative sign to convince people to turn away from strip clubs and go to their church.
Nope.
Sunrise starts tomorrow morning at 4:30.
Go see. Standing by. Go key. My cue.
In the fast-paced lives we lead, family dinner time might be a thing of the past for you as more people
A
opt
is
for
clear.
fast food
Stand by
options.
package
There's
from
one
2.
reason obesity rates are soaring.
C is also
but there's a
clear.
new program to help change that in Southwest Louisiana. KPLC's Brittany Glazer gets the 411 on a free series of healthy cooking classes for families to enjoy.
If you go for the fast more than you go for the family
A minute
table, your
38.
We'll
come back key for the tag, then we'll go to 2 and 2
This
for the
has some
bump.
great nutrition.
Wide
Wayne
on
State
3.
University nutrition and
ready.
food science instructor Elgina Quibido is hoping to shake up and shape up the way families in Southwest Louisiana eat.
They come in and based upon their
10.
needs and wants, we will try to plan the menu, planning and working together to put on a very healthy plate.
As part of the Dare to Be Healthy initiative, Quibido, along with registered dietitians and McNeese nutrition students, will be menu planning and cooking Louisiana style
1
with a
minute.
healthier twist.
This is more quick and easy, getting good nutrition into the family dinner.
This kitchen classroom at MSU will be Grand Central Station for 8 free family cooking
And it
sessions
goes bad
with
so
one goal.
quick.
Getting healthier, knowing that there are good, tasty choices out there that we're fueling our bodies in a very good way.
These healthy cooking classes won't be the only way that Southwest Louisiana families will get
If it all
help
tasted like
getting their
chocolate, I'd
kitchen
be
and
fine
plates
with
in
it.
shape. 5 local families will be selected to work with registered dietitians for a period of 12 weeks
I don't know what
for
you do with
one-on-one
30.
nutrition help.
We're also going to be looking at where you like to eat out, choices at restaurants, as well as
What's
just
up?
overall, what's the obstacles of eating healthy and
2's not
what's the
centered
activity
either.
that's involved.
A conversation and education for
10
families ready to
seconds.
pull their
Stand by
chairs
camera
up to the
1.
table while making some changes. At your service with
Stand by
Healthcast,
1.
Brittany Glazer, KPLC 7 News.
And like you.
Now, the next cooking class you can register for is on Thursday, April 25th. We have a full schedule on the health page of
Semi-tune and tune.
KPLC-TV.com, along with details on how your family can apply for the free 12-week program with a dietitian.
Kim
Drew Shirley joining us with sports on a Thursday night, and a big night for McNeese Sports.
Thanks for
All the way
card.
around,
Stand
some
by, wipe the
fireworks
3.
tonight at Cowboy Diamond with the baseball team and
Videos
the ladies trying to get
by,
another
wide on
road
3.
win in the
Go 3.
postseason tournament. We have Sights and Sounds coming up
3 is
next
up
in
in
sports.
3, 2, 1. Fade, take it. 15.
It's entertainment. I mean, you look at it as, you're not saying it's sports, it's
10.
entertainment. Right. They don't get that, obviously.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see.
Now, 7
Stand by.
Sports with Drew Shirley, local first.
My cue, go key.
McNeese Cowgirls seem to like life on the road. A bus trip to Georgia and North Carolina
Clear.
resulted in 2
Stand by video
wins in
for
the Women's
1.
Basketball Invitational. That led to a plane ride to South Dakota for tonight's semifinal matchup against the Lady Coyotes. I'm going to start talking now. First half, Caitlin Baggett at the point. She drives inside and scores 2 of her
We're
19.
gonna wipe to a full screen
McNeese down
eventually.
3 at the time. South Dakota responds. Nicole Seacamp, a sophomore from Australia, hits 2 of her team high 20. Lady Coyotes go up by 10.
Okay. I knew it was
Cowgirls
both
go
back knees.
inside. Cecilia Okoye pulls up and sticks the jumper. She had 14, and McNeese cuts into that lead. Then Allison Baggett with the fake and the runner into the lane. She had 8. Ashlyn Baggett led the way with 26, and the comeback kids do it again. McNeese State wins 71-63.
Semi-full
They move
screen.
on to the championship game of the WBI, and so the
Wiping.
final is set. The 8th seed
We're
in the
gonna
West,
wipe 2
McNeese
video
State,
to
will
2
go back
next.
on the road to take on top seed in the East, Detroit. That game will tip at 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, and the winner will be the champion of the Women's Basketball Invitational. The LSU women are also on their way to ports unknown. Spokane, Washington
come
is their
back,
next
kid.
destination. The Lady Tigers off to play the 2nd seed Cal Lady Bears in the NCAA round of 16. Point guard John Kinney made the trip with the team, but is still having some symptoms after that
Stand by,
collision in
Ken.
round 1. She'll be a game time decision on Saturday morning.
He's up on
Tonight is
cam,
the
going to
Southland
video
home
at
opener
3.
for the McNeese Baseball Cowboys, who took 2 of 3 on the road at Lamar last weekend.
Videos out.
Northwestern State in town, and they lead 2-0 in the
We'll come back
second,
to 2
but
and
Tyler
2
Clouser
for the
comes to
moment.
bat with the bases loaded and cracks one toward Moss Bluff. That ball is way back and gone. It's a grand slam for Clouser, and all of a sudden it's 4-2 McNeese State. Then Bryce Kingsley gets some defense behind him. Will Watson grounds to second. There's one. The throw is late to first, but Matt Burns is called for interference, so Watson's out too. Double play. Then Todd Wallace lines to center, but Andrew Guillot runs it down, and that ends the inning. Go to the bottom of the third. Connor Lloyd rips the ball into left field. Here comes Jackson Gooch around. He will score, and the Cowboys take a 5-2 lead. The next batter is Philip LeBleu. He grounds to third. The throw is over to first. It is in the dirt, gets away, and there's going to be a play at the plate. Here comes Lloyd, and he's going to be safe at home. Cowboys lead 6-2. They go on to win 11-5. Game 2 tomorrow night. So a great night for McNeese State. The ladies move on, play the champ game on Saturday.
Long road trip.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Drew Shirley. Cedric is back with another check of weather. Stay with us.
Fade, take it.
Sorry, I didn't change that.
Yay. 15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see. What's your white on? My Q's 30.
All right, it'll be about 50 degrees tonight with some scattered clouds around and a warm and breezy Friday.
Thank you, Cedric. That's all for 7 News Nightcast. For Drew Shirley, Cedric Haynes, and everybody behind the camera tonight, I'm Charlie Haldeman. We thank you for joining us. Have a good night.
10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fade, take it. Meeting.